This is iFIBER 1 News. Here are today's top stories.
Wildfire season is in full swing as fires have threatened hundreds of homes in central Washington.
Which Wenatchee do you live in, and what kind of Wenatchee should it become in the future?
From search and rescue to collision investigations, the Grant County Sheriff's Office drone program has proven successful.
The Columbia Basin and Moses Lake River Dogs have now been mixed together to make the River Dogs 1 and River Dogs 2 teams.
From the iFIBER 1 newsroom, this is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Wildfire season is in full swing as fires have threatened hundreds of homes in central Washington. The town of Vantage was evacuated Tuesday as about 140 homes were threatened by the 1,600-acre Ryegrass Coulee fire that also shut down I-90 for about 7 hours. Fire officials say an outbuilding was destroyed and a barn damaged, but luckily no homes were lost. A fast-moving brush fire Tuesday evening led to evacuations of several homes near Crescent Bar, located about 10 miles west of Quincy. Air support from Chelan County helped firefighters on the ground quickly contain the blaze and no homes were lost. State troopers say the fire was caused by a lost tire from a vehicle. An about 2,000-acre wildfire forced Level 3 evacuations along the Grant and Douglas County line on July 3rd. The so-called Baird Springs fire was fully contained the next day and no structures were lost. The Little Camas fire, burning about 6 miles south of Kashmir, burned more than 300 acres since sparking on July 6th. As of Wednesday, the fire is about 75% contained and no homes have been damaged. The State Department of Natural Resources has already responded to close to 500 fires so far in 2018. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by...
Change doesn't have to be complicated. With a low-profile microwave hood combination that's ready to install right out of the box. It fits in the same space as your under-cabinet hood, so you can get your microwave off the countertop and make space for the routines worth keeping. The low-profile microwave hood combination from the #1 selling appliance brand in the USA.
Whirlpool Appliances, now available at more furniture in Ephrata.
Which Wenatchee do you live in, and what kind of Wenatchee should it become in the future? Those are the questions city officials are asking in a series of open house forums running through the next 8 months. The first, held Tuesday night at Pybus Public Market, asked for input on rising rents, skyrocketing home prices, and the scarcity of housing in general.
Right now, we're at about a 0.5% vacancy rate, which is one of the lowest in the state. We need about 1,600 market rate units in the valley in order to get that vacancy rate to change, to be more affordable. We also need about 250 housing units a year just to accommodate growth.
But what will this growth look like? In a study of 1,700 residents commissioned by the nonprofit Our Valley, Our Future, 9 of 10 said they wanted more diversity in housing. The majority also said they wanted to do so while respecting the character of existing neighborhoods.
As I've told my staff the last 2 or 3 years, all of the easy stuff in this town has already been developed. And all of the rest of it is going to be hard and difficult and require creativity and some code additions and changes that allow some flexibility in development.
Residents can give their input in an online survey until July 17th at surveymonkey.com. 2 more open houses are planned, one in the fall, one in winter. Jefferson Robbins, iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by...
Your taste buds bored? Well, then bring them to Jay's Teriyaki. Not only does Jay's have a variety of teriyaki dishes, they also offer mouth-watering salads and sides. Call Jay's 509-764-5155. Jay's Teriyaki, located at 123 East Broadway in Moses Lake, because it's all in the sauce.
From search and rescue to collision investigations, the Grant County Sheriff's Office drone program has proven successful. Deputies were out training last week near Ephrata, along with the Okanogan County Sheriff's Office, which is starting its own program. Chief Deputy Derek Gregg, who oversees the Unmanned Aircraft System program, said the Sheriff's Office has 2 drones and is in the process of purchasing 2 more equipped with FLIR thermal cameras.
We're in the process of purchasing 2 more. Currently we have 2 DJI drones that we fly. We're going to purchase 2 more which are the Inspire ones with FLIR. So we have the capability at nighttime or even during the day if somebody's lost or takes off and runs on us, we will have the ability to find the heat imagery from that person, whether they're lost or hiding out in a field under some bushes. So that's going to eliminate us going out into a field looking for somebody that's wanted. It'll give us a heads up to where they're at, and then we can direct people from the air on the ground to where the subject may be hiding. And the benefit to search and rescue is as long as there's heat coming from the person, we'll be able to locate them and cover a lot more land than we would on foot.
The drone program, which started in 2016, has successfully been used in search and rescue operations and allows deputies to reconstruct post-collision scenes and criminal investigation scenes.
The benefit to having the UAS is that some of the areas that we can't get to, whether it's water or the terrain, we can cover a lot more ground using a UAS up in the air, and it's a lot safer for searchers and fire EMS.
Training last week included basic maneuvers as well as flight testing other drone models, including a fixed-wing aircraft, as well as a search and rescue scenario at Neva Lake, where deputies had to use a drone to locate a child's doll hidden in the countryside. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
The Columbia Basin and Moses Lake River Dogs have now been mixed together to make the River Dogs 1 and River Dogs 2 teams. With the state tournament taking place in the Freda at Johnson O'Brien Field this weekend, both teams have been hard at work to be prepared. Riverdog coach Randy Boroff expects both teams to be competitive. He talked about how difficult making the two rosters was.
I think we're going to be really good. We have a lot of depth. I expect it to be competitive. I actually expect our two teams, the second team, to compete very well against our top team. Seriously, we had about 23, 24 kids for those 18 spots, and it was a tough decision. A lot of times we were more concerned about the kid. We didn't want some young kid sitting on the bench and not getting a lot of playing time.
Both teams will compete in the state tournament this weekend, and both will also compete in regionals next weekend. The two teams will play each other on Saturday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. The state title game will take place following that game, so depending on how each team does, it's possible they'll play in a doubleheader, with the second game being the state title game. I'm Adam Chikoski for iFIBER 1 Sports.
This is iFIBER 1 News. For more information on these stories and other news, visit us online at iFiber1.com or check us out on Facebook.